Squad. We are now up to our featured readers. Yay! And I do believe our first featured reader is our local feature. Is that
Yes.
what we were doing it? All right. Well, I didn't have anything prepared until I remembered I did have something in the newspaper. Jackie Carmichael is the author of my Read Aloud Tales about social distancing, which is just newly published. And Heard Amid the Guns, Little True Stories from the Western Front, October 2020 looks like a new publishing date for it by Heritage House. Way cool. And so, well, that seems to be all that was in that particular paragraph. So, Jacqueline Carmichael, take it away.
Thank you, Stephen. It's so good to be here. It's really nice to see all these good faces and really loving these so far. My children's book, I thought I'd start with it because I felt like it's just been so heavy. Maybe we need some more animal stories. Little did I know that everybody would have animal stories tonight, which gives us sort of a theme, and that's fantastic. So my ebook, which is going to be a print book as soon as I can get back to it, and I'm not on other deadlines, is called it's about social distancing anyway. So I'm going to start at the beginning, and all you have to know is as I talk about these animals, and this is written at a very rudimentary level, I hope it will appeal to everybody, not just kids. For some reason, I think it might. But picture the animals with masks on. So I've photoshopped little masks of varying shapes and sizes onto these creatures, just for the sake of anthropomorphizing them, which I don't think you're supposed to do. But anyway, in which the great horned owl appoints the newsbirds. Once upon a time, there was a big slowdown. For some animals, it was like a very bad cold, but it was much worse for others. The big slowdown spread quickly in the animal world. It changed everything for a while. The owls discovered the big slowdown first. They gathered all the newsbirds for important news briefings. Please tell them there'll be a bit of pandemonium for the now, so they must just stay home as much as possible. Heroic helpers are working to make it better, said the great horned owl. She was very wise indeed. Who are the heroic helpers? Asked a newsbird. Animal doctors and nurses, food gatherers, fixers, cleaners, transporters. They are the heroic helpers, the great horned owl replied, shifting her big fuzzy feet. They are frontline animals who leave their safe, cozy dens each day to help make the world better. The owl asked the newsbirds to tell all the animals staying busy would help. We are all in this alone together. Hoot, hoot, she said. The newsbirds hurried to spread the word, branch to branch. Bravely, they left their cozy nests each day to soar and swoop and tell the news to all the animals. During the big slowdown, we must do social distancing. You stay apart from any animals who live in other households, a newsbird told the chipmunk. Just for now, until the pandemonium is over, just stay home as much as possible and wash your hands and cover your coughs and don't touch your face. Check in on your neighbors. Make sure everyone's okay in your neck of the woods, just like you'd want them to check on you. It's the golden rule, the newsbird said. What's a pandemonium? Is it a bear? And what's a golden ruler? Is that for drawing? The curious chipmunk asked. He wasn't sure he liked the sound of that bear thing. The newsbird chuckled. Pandemonium is when there's lots of changes, too many changes all at once. Then animals don't know quite what to make of it all, she said. Pandemonium means big confusion in the now. The golden rule means treat others the way you wish to be treated. My face where protects you, your face where protects me, sang the mother rabbit. Golden rule. It was important to stay at least 6 rabbits apart for the now when you're out, she told her bunnies. The bunnies waved and yelled, "Hello, how are you?" to the other rabbit families across the garden. They shouted jokes. What did the rabbit say to the other rabbit? "Somebody loves you." They laughed, but outside they stayed at least 6 rabbits apart, and usually much further than that. The big slowdown spread to the savannah. The lions looked good in their new homemade face wear. The cub patted his father's soft mane. "Should I be worried because my dad's worried?" the cub asked a newsbird. "No worries. When there's pandemonium, the grown-ups do a bit of worrying for everyone, just for the now," the newsbird assured the lions, without getting too close. The big slowdown spread to the Arctic. The teen polar bear stayed at home as much as possible. He was cozy in his splendid warm fur, but he felt bored and he felt lonely a bit. "Grr, why is it taking so long to fix this?" he said to a newsbird. "I can't hunt and play in the usual places. That makes me feel angry. There are medicines that prevent many other sicknesses we never get anymore," the newsbird said. "But the big slowdown is brand new, so it's taking longer to make the important medicine. Just for the now, staying busy will help. Try helping your mom with chores. She gets help. You're not bored. Win-win," the newsbird added from a safe distance. At Swan Lake, the swans did social distancing in their very unique and elegant way, enjoying the family time. "Check it out. Here's how I just stay home. I snuggle up in my mom's grand feathers," the little cygnet said. "I call it swan distancing." The big slowdown came down under to Australia, where a newsbird brought news to the koala family from his perch in a tree. "Just stay home," he said, "just for the now. We'll do social distancing in our own fine, slow, and steady way out of the big slowdown. Thank you, my dear," Grandma Koala said. "Now kindly back off, mate. You're a bit too close." "So I am," the newsbird said. His feathers were a bit ruffled, but he quickly scooted back until he was 6 rabbits away. "Very sorry. Thank you for reminding me," he said. "No worries," she said. "After all, we're all in this alone together." The Canada geese weren't used to social distancing. They weren't used to having everyone home at once all the time without any school or outings or grandpa visits, and they sure weren't used to wearing face wear. "Pandemonium be gone. I don't like it," honked Father Goose in his blustery way, feeling the stress of the big slowdown. Sometimes when he was anxious, he got a bit grumpy. "We don't need no stinking pandemonium. Too many changes all at once. I don't believe it. All this fuss about nothing. Nothing." "How long will the big slowdown last? Because it sure is penguin-demonium," the little fuzzy penguin said. "I don't know the answer," the daddy penguin replied, eyes twinkling above his face wear. Penguin-demonium. A newsbird thought that was a fun word. "Social distancing helps all the elder penguins and any penguins who get sick easy, and the whole entire animal world during the penguin-demonium," the newsbird said with a smile. A newsbird told the sloth family to sneeze into their elbows and to cover their coughs too. "Like this," said the mummy sloth, coughing into the silky, luxurious fur on her elbow in slow motion. "Perfect," the newsbird said slowly. "When I grow up, I want to be a heroic helper like you," said the young sloth. "Well," said the newsbird. A very big rule of the big slowdown was wash your hands. "All the animals need to wash their claws, or flippers, or paws. Wash your hands," a newsbird said. "Feet," the little elephant said. "We wash our feet." "Righto," said the newsbird. "Feet then, sorry." The elephant family washed their massive feet and their elegant long trunks, and then they put their extra roomy face wear on and wandered out to gather food. They were in it alone together. Try singing a song to remind you to wash your hands long enough, a newsbird told the little raccoon. Come on, honey, do the washy-washy, the raccoon sang to his reflection. Don't be wishy-washy, do the washy-washy. Use some soapy, don't be a dopey. It was a silly song, but it was catchy. The newsbird danced a little bobbing dance. Groovy, he said. What does groovy mean? Asked the little raccoon. Never mind, said the bird. Another important rule was don't touch your face. A newsbird told the alligator to keep her claws off. Handle your toys, your crayons, your paper, but don't touch your face. Don't worry, I can't even reach my face, the alligator replied with a smile. Hey, come a little closer, why don't you? The newsbird kept his social distance. All right, so that's my excerpt from my Read Aloud Tales of Social Distancing. Thank you. All right, how are we doing for time? Do I have time for a little essay that I wrote recently? Someone want to say? Okay, I'm going to read it then because I haven't heard anybody say not.
Yes.
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 Okay, all right. I'm a pariah. I cross the street to avoid my neighbor walking her dogs. For days, I sit on the couch, stupefied, binge watching Ozark and Tiger King. I whine about missing a trip to Europe, missing my hairstylist and Costco, about the way my mask itches my face. All I know about pandemics, I learned from walking in the trenches of the Western Front, where my grandfathers fought in Belgium and France, researching where they survived the so-called Spanish influenza, the deprivations of the First World War. It's first seen in Kansas, late winter. Cases rapidly boil over from ordinary flu symptoms to shocking, unprecedented pneumonia. The mortality rate's 20 times that of the regular flu. How to rapidly spread an invisible virus. Soldiers in close quarters on troop ships, not cruise ships. World transportation routes. Walk strange streets far from home. Expose them to a microscopic enemy hunting them for blood sport in ways the German Imperial Army cannot. The world's populace is decimated. One single country is blamed, and it is not Kansas. Politics are involved, and in the fallout, the onus falls on Spain's free press for their robust reporting. The disease strikes seniors with particular vengeance. No age is immune to its venom. Doctors can't keep pace, paramedics fall prey, and bodies pile up. 7 months in, Emily Adams of Toronto sends a letter to her soldier son George at the front. It's become so serious that theaters and picture shows are closed. Churches are only allowed to have one service. The Arlington hotels turn into a hospital. You'll be sorry to hear Frank B. died of pneumonia last week. Tuesday, Harry Tucker died in Ottawa. Antiva got the word he had the flu. She and Mabel went to see him, but he'd been taken to emergency with pneumonia. Fred went to fetch the body and told Charlie there were 60 bodies on the train. Harry was buried Friday. Edie wouldn't let me go to the funeral in case of infection, she writes. The biggest setback of all? November 11th, 1918, if you can believe it. Hostilities cease. Armistice. The very moment one war ends, another more insidious one mushrooms. The virus is just getting warmed up as Guelph soldier Robert Shortreed writes his mother from the throngs of Paris. Streets were impassable. The French way of showing joy is to kiss everyone. Few people escaped it. Parades were innumerable. It was impossible to get through the crowd. The bands didn't have a chance to walk, let alone play. A mob all day long, he says. A third wave of influenza washes over the globe. The virus leaps, unobserved, from celebration to celebration, buoyed by relief, carrier to victim, hand to shoulder, cheek to mouth. Lives on into 1919 and beyond, enmeshed in the grinding gears of the economic engine of post-war prosperity. A century ago, a fifth of the world was infected. A century ago, between 20 million and 100 million victims succumbed to the virus globally, a number far greater than those who died from bullets and bombs. The average life expectancy back then for a man was just 56. The knife of the flu pandemic sliced off 12 years. I'm a pariah. I cross the street to avoid my neighbor walking her dogs. For days, I sit on the couch stupefied, binge watching Ozark and Tiger King. I whine about missing a trip to Europe, missing my hairstylist in Costco, about the way my mask itches nothing. That's it.
That was great, Jacqueline. Thank you.